Alright guys, I wanted to just run through some of the gear that I've got here. Not all of it necessarily, but most of it. So we'll jump right in. These are the clothes. And the biggest thing here is that I've got a bunch of stuff for living in the wintertime. A lot of this pile right here goes away outside of the winter, so we'll take a quick look at that. But basically, starting from the bottom up, these are the Rockcraft shorts I was talking about. I think they're called the Quandary shorts. Now, these are awesome. They're made of, all these pants are made of the same kind of material. It's a stretchy, water resistant, super abrasive resistant material made for climbing. So they're amazing. And they actually look pretty decent. So those are the all around shorts that I tend to wear. And then just to back up a step, here are the original, these are the original Rockcraft pants that Patagonia made. And they're amazing. I've climbed in these for 8 years. I mean, you can't even tell. The only problem is they're not super stylish. The fit isn't that amazing, which is why I'm so excited about the Piranha Brian pant, because as you can see, it's a little bit more like a regular pant. They look really decent, I think. I mean, compared to what I've been wearing in the past. And they have the same qualities. They're stretchy, they're water resistant, they're lightweight. I mean, you could literally go to an office, leave the office, do some squats, go rock climbing, jump out of a window, and you'd look pretty damn good doing it. So check these out if you haven't. These are pretty much a game changer, and I think in the future that's all I'm going to take with me. I think that the old Rockcraft pants will go out the window, although I will say it is nice with these. You can roll up the pant leg and kind of wear them like a, almost like a zip off, which, by the way, don't need zip offs. That went out the window a while ago. So I've got a couple pairs of merino underwear from Icebreaker. These are awesome. They go the distance. I wouldn't really wear anything else at this point, and these are super lightweight, and there's not a lot of fabric involved. So those are fantastic. And then I've got a set of also the long underwear, top and bottoms from Icebreaker. And merino underwear will change your life. If you're cold ever, I mean, this top plus even a rain jacket will change everything. And if you're in a cold climate or you're somewhere in the winter, if you put these on under a pair of jeans or whatever you've got, the especially technical fabrics like the Prana pant, you're going to be so happy. These really go the distance. These are a really nice addition to things, but I wouldn't carry them outside of the middle of winter in, say, Budapest, where I've been. So that's that. The rest of the cold weather gear, I've got this Patagonia R1 hoodie. This has been obviously well used and has really gone the distance. I mean, it's hard to beat Patagonia stuff. So this isn't ideal for traveling. It only zips down part way, et cetera, but in terms of the warmth to weight ratio, hard to beat. And then I also have a Patagonia down jacket. I mean, I've had this as well for 6-7 years or something like that. I mean, they're indestructible. It smashes down to nothing. Super lightweight. Obviously, this gets thrown out pretty fast as soon as it gets warm. So most of this stuff actually goes away in terms of what I'm traveling with. So what I would actually take now, if I was going on a trip, since it's April, it looks more like this. The shorts, the pants, and then as I've included in the post, here's a couple shirts. These are from H&M. They're a couple euros each. They actually look pretty decent and they last surprisingly well. T-shirts go pretty fast, so that's a good way to cover some bases. And I'm actually wearing the Icebreaker, I'll show that in a minute, the Icebreaker T-shirt that, the standard one that everyone has, which is great, not super nice for walking around a European city necessarily, but covers the distance. So got some merino socks as well. I've got a couple other pair of socks somewhere. Got this little travel belt I bought in Panama for $1, still going strong. And then this is kind of actually fitness related. So I've got some REI boxers, and 2 pairs of board shorts, which I use to work out in, / go surfing, / go to the spa. And then, of course, it wouldn't be complete without the trusty, well, Chiang Mai City t-shirt, which I bought for $2 and just is indestructible somehow. So that's that. And that's pretty much all the clothes. So there's just a couple accessories I want to point out, which are amazing. This in particular, this day pack from Sea to Summit, which collapses into its own pocket into almost nothing. You can put it on your keychain. That comes in huge for cruising around the city or going to the beach, whatever. This is a great headlamp I started using from Princeton Tech. It's really sweet because it's got a red light. And that's really nice for reading at night, so you get rid of the constant exposure to blue light, which happens with everything. So that's great. And then a few little fun things I've actually thrown in recently. I started drinking a lot more loose leaf tea, so I have this nice little German tea thing. And if you're going to drink bulletproof coffee, don't screw around. Get one of these. It doesn't weigh anything. And thank me later. Sunglasses case, and then here's the trusty backpack that you all know and love. This thing is still going strong. I mean, Black Diamond makes indestructible gear made for rock climbing, so that's not going anywhere anytime soon. Let's move over to the office. So we're set up here. Sorry about the lighting. That's not the best, but we got the MacBook Pro. We've got, obviously the Kindle, the second most valuable item after the iPhone, which I'm actually holding in my hand. Some accessories. These are the Bose QC15 headphones. You can see pretty small. I did another little review on these if you want to see some more detail on that. A couple more accessories, passport pouch, case, USB key, wallet, and so forth. And then my little laptop bag, which I carry that stuff in. And then the last thing, I've got some fitness gear. I'm here in this place for 2 or 3 months, so it makes sense to bring a few items that I use a lot. You recognize some of this stuff. Probably a lot of you are not going to have a need for lifting shoes, but they make a difference in my life. Having another pair of shoes to work out in actually makes a big difference. So these are my Innovate 195s. These are my favorite shoes from basically all time. They're the most comfortable things I've ever seen. I've gone through 3 pairs of them now. You could travel with just these and work out and walk all day and feel great about it. You're probably not going to feel awesome about feeling super stylish. But another trick, and I think I have another video on this, is if you go to H&M, you can get a pair of €10 shoes to go out in, so don't worry about looking stylish. But these will save your feet. They've actually helped kind of fix my feet over the years of wearing them because they're relatively barefoot, relatively flat-footed. I think there's a 3mm differential there. Anyway, this stuff, some of this is kind of fitness. These things are actually amazing for storing stuff when you're traveling. Like you can use this to make oatmeal in, or some kind of travel food, or anything that you can use with water. It's a great kind of storage thing. This as well can be used for a variety of things. This is actually my foam roller that I use for mobility stuff. I think actual foam is basically useless for doing mobility. So this is a hard plastic. I mean, you can really do some damage with it. You can also store protein powder or anything else you can think of in here. You can fill it with socks. And then obviously the lacrosse ball. Never leave home without the lacrosse ball. If you don't know why this is important, read some of the other posts on the website. Speed rope, surprisingly light, surprisingly useful for working out. I'm trying to get better at this. Doesn't take up a lot of space. And then, yeah, what I was saying before, the shoes, having another pair of shoes to work out in really saves the originals, makes them last a lot longer. So that's most of the stuff. It actually all fits very nicely into that backpack, with the exception of the lifting shoes. So if I was going to be going on a trip from here, I'll try to make maybe another little pack video. I would throw those out. I would actually keep these. Maybe I would try to get it down to 1 pair of shoes, but then I've got some clothes, throw it in the backpack and the little office kit, and I am ready to go. That is a wrap.